What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to my Journeyman series here on FM24. Ironically, this is episode 24, and we've just finished the season with Leverkusen winning the Bundesliga and winning the Europa League. Missed out on the Pokal, and when we were closing out the last episode, we said that we'd contemplate whether we were going to stay here another season, trying to defend the title and have a crack at the Champions League with Leverkusen, or we'd have a look at what other jobs came up and who might be interested in taking us to another league with a bigger club, more ambition, that could potentially challenge for the Champions League. We're coming to the end of the Journeyman series here now. I think once I've won the Champions League, I think that could potentially be it. So I only envisage another 2-3 more episodes of this series before we move on to other things. But a job offer has come up in the Premier League. Now, I always envisaged that we'd finish this at Tottenham, with me being a Spurs fan, but that job's not available. There is another club that are looking for a manager. It's a club that I don't ever recall me managing in Football Manager or Championship Manager. I've played every edition of this game ever since it came out, and I don't recall ever doing a save with this club. But who is it? Who has invited me for a job interview? Well, it's Liverpool, and we talked about it in the last episode that they were available and we could have applied for the job. And I didn't, because I thought I needed a lower reputable club to go into Europe at. And I think Leverkusen should have been a challenge on paper, but I do find FM24 a lot easier than previous versions of Football Manager. And winning the Bundesliga was a little bit too easy. Liverpool, it might be too easy to win the Premier League. However, they've not won it for 12 seasons. Manchester City have been completely dominant in the Premier League. Chelsea have won it a couple of times in the last 12 years, but predominantly Manchester City, I think, have won it 10 out of the last 12 seasons. So I want to go usurp Manchester City with this Liverpool team. Let's have a look at the current squad. So this is it sorted by value. Ilan Brosh is a world-class striker. He's everything you'd want from a striker. A couple of familiar names in the squad. So Alejandro Medina is a player that I had at Monterrey. I bought him at Monterrey. I think I had him for a season, maybe two. And then Liverpool come and activated his minimum fee release clause. They took him away from us. He's now worth between 143 and 171 million. Wonderful defender. Geronimo Fernandez was at Monterrey when I first went there. And then if you recall, Liverpool activated his minimum fee release clause within the first week or two that I was there. So I never got to use him. And if you remember, I said how great he would have been for Monterrey if we could have kept hold of him. But he's here now. We're going to get to use him at Liverpool. Franco Raffaele is here. He was at Leverkusen. I sold him to Liverpool for quite an extortionate fee. So now I'm going to have to suffer the consequences of those actions if I get this job. But yeah, I really want this. I don't think I'm ever going to manage Liverpool again, unless it comes up on some sort of Journeyman series in future editions of Football Manager. But it's not a club I generally go to, and that's because they're always up there challenging. They always have been in previous Football Managers or Championship Managers, despite how unsuccessful they may have been in real life. But yeah, it's just a club I've never gone to, which is a bit odd. I used to have a bit of a fascination for Liverpool when I was a young kid, sort of like before I even knew what football was really. I was a child of the 80s, and Liverpool were very successful in the 80s. And my cousin, who was a year older than me, was a Liverpool fan, so I kind of followed him really with the Liverpool thing in the 80s. Until I switched my allegiance to Tottenham, and there's a story behind that, pretty much around the Mabbott family, but that's the reason why I support Tottenham. And there was no professional clubs in the city I grew up in. Wakefield is the biggest city in England that doesn't have a professional football club, so a lot of people either supported Leeds or Barnsley or Manchester United. Not many people supported clubs outside those three. It was only because I had some interaction with the Mabbott family that I ended up supporting Tottenham really. So yeah, enough about that. Let's get into this. I'm going to go for the job interview. Hopefully they'll offer me the job. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so I've been for the job interview and they've offered me the job. I have accepted it. So we are leaving Leverkusen and we're joining Liverpool. So this is the best 11. And I think we need some fullbacks. For sure. Because I think Texera and Quintano are better centre-backs. Homer is better as a DM, as far as I'm concerned. And Marin and Reyes should be the wingers. Watiao looks pretty good as a backup. I can challenge with Marin on that left-hand side, I think. But yeah, I think there's a bit of work to do. We've got a bit of money. So we have a transfer budget of 173 million. There's 166 in the bank. So there is some flexibility in what we can do. I think we definitely need some fullbacks. Maybe another centre midfielder. Just looking at the squad. I'll look at the general info. Age-wise, yeah, I'm fine with Gomez as number 1, but we might need another keeper in the next season. Ben Doak probably needs to move on, 33 years old. 275,000 a week. There's a lot of big wages here, isn't there? Yeah, Brosh is 400,000 a week. Medina's 350, Geronimo's 210, Reyes is 350, he's 32 as well. Could probably get a season out of him, I think, though. Hans Bossman, striker there, 32 years old, 235,000 a week. Need to try and move him on. So yeah, so there's a bit of things to do. What I'll do is I'll jump forward right to the end of the summer transfer window and we'll revisit it. Let's just have a quick look at the staffing first before we do that. And that needs a bit of work doing to it as well. We've only got 3 coaches, which is not good. Andrew Robertson's as assistant manager. He's pretty impressive. Liverpool legend Andrew Robertson, assistant manager. Wow. And Dan Ashworth is here as director of football. Weirdly. So yeah, I'll jump forward. I'll improve the staffing, and we'll do some transfers and see where we're at. Okay, first player I brought in and biggest signing of the window, 87 million, right back William Padilla. Is an attacking fullback. We had him at Napoli. I signed him at Napoli. He's gone on and done wonders there. So I have brought him here. He looks like a fabulous player. Really excited to bring him in. The only downside is I've had to pay him £400,000 a week. A hell of a lot of money when we're already struggling with wages. Neil Shaw is a centre midfielder that I brought in, 52 million from Manchester City. He was transfer listed, and we needed somebody that was homegrown to come in. He's classed as world class as well, so I've taken a bit of a punt on him. His stats look really good. I'm not sure he'll play week in, week out because we've got some competition in there, but he's an excellent member of the squad and will surely help us achieve what we're here to do. Another £50 million signing. This guy is a left-back, wing-back. Very, very good indeed. £250,000 a week, but his stats are unbelievable. He's already a 4.5 star. He's 25 years old. He's going to be the starting left-back for us for the rest of our time here. Wonderful player. I brought in another left back. This was 44 million, which is a lot of money for this lad because he's predominantly going to be backup for the last kid I showed you, Zadinov, however you pronounce it. But Mark Ritchie is here. He's only 20, so we will try and get him some game times in the non-important fixtures and just try and help him develop. We picked him up from Brighton. But yeah, 44 million was a lot of money for him, but I felt like the left back particularly was the position that we needed to strengthen. With 2 signings, and we've done that, and there's no need now for us to even look at that position anymore. We've got exactly what we need there. Luke Collins was a deadline day signing, £40 million from Wolves, 19 years old, is a prospect for the future, centre midfield again, homegrown again, will help with that quota, and will predominantly be a squad player, but we'll get him into some of the non-important games again, a bit like Richie. Again, homegrown player, £20 million here for Malia, who is an English. We got him from Blackburn. He'll be the backup goalkeeper to Gomez this season. He's predominantly going to play backup all his career. He's 21 years old. He's probably not going to develop into a world-class goalkeeper, which is what Liverpool's going to need in the future. But he looks like he'll be a fabulous backup, and he's homegrown, which is what I want from a backup goalkeeper. I like both my backup goalkeepers to be homegrown, so it helps with the squad quota. So we brought this guy in, looks alright, he'll do a job for us for sure. 16.25 million for Kawa, I don't know. But he's got potential to be 5-star goalkeeper, 18 years old, so he will eventually become homegrown and qualify as a Liverpool Academy player, being 18. He's a wonder kid. We're going to give him some game time in the non-important fixtures. I'm not too bothered about Malia, he'll just come in as and when we need him, and I think he'll be fine with that. This kid is going to take over as the number one goalkeeper at some point, so we need to give him some games and keep improving him so he reaches his potential. Picked this lad up for 14 million from Copenhagen. He looks absolutely stunning. He's going to be back up to Brosh this season, and I think Brosh will eventually move on at the end of the season. Real Madrid and Barcelona are interested in him all season. Don't put a bid in for him, but I think at some point Brosh is going to move on, but Reinhold looks wonderful. 18 years old and has already got 7 goals in 7 caps for Denmark. This kid's very similar, and he was a similar price from Midtjylland, I think. And I think him and Reinhard, or whatever it was called, I think the two of them are going to be very good together. Both Danish, both 18 years old. They will become Liverpool Academy players, so they'll meet that homegrown quota eventually. But yeah, both of them look sublime, and they've cost me 28 million between them. No brainer. This lad was playing in Portugal for Estrada, and I managed to sign him for 2.2 million because he had a minimum fee release clause. It looks absolutely wonderful. He's going to be world class. Neymar Book. Remember the name. 19 years old and he's already got 38 caps for Jamaica. 2 goals, but he is going to develop into something special. You know I like my Colombians, and I managed to pick this lad up for 1.8 million. A future prospect for sure. Another wonder kid coming into the ranks, and he will hopefully develop into a first choice centre-back. I got this lad for 2.5 million from Chelsea. He was in their youth academy and wasn't really getting a sniff. He was transfer listed, so I picked him up for 2.5 million just to help with the homegrown quota. Even if I sell him on for a profit, it's not too bad, but we'll see how he gets on. Looks alright, could develop into a decent player. Justice Mensah. Picked this lad up from Cologne for 10 million. Don't laugh at his name. Wojciech Noblok. Looks pretty good. He'll be a backup centre-back for this season, hopefully trying to push for a first team place. We have some very good defenders here now at Liverpool, so I'm hoping we've got a strong squad and we won't concede many goals. So there is a list of players out. We made 400 million, Caldera 55 million to Barcelona, Foshagen to Napoli for 47, Franco Raffaele moved on 40 million to Juventus, David Jimenez to Newcastle for up to 50 million, Oscar Carrion to Porto for 35.5 million. The list goes on. We must have had 2 David Jimenez's because one went to Newcastle and one went to Napoli. Alejandro Diaz went on, George Martino went on, Ben Doak went to Real Madrid for 22 million, Christian Kruger 90 million to Juventus. We made 400 million and we spent 337, so I'm really happy with the business that we've done. We've got a 63 million pound profit and improved the squad, moved on some older players, brought in some young players to develop into first teamers. So this is currently the squad. We've been through the 3 keepers. Gomez is number 1 for this season. Malia will be third choice. Carroll will be backup. We've got decent players at centre-back now, so Teixeira and Medina will be predominantly the starters. Then we've got Gomez and Quintana as backups, as well as Knobloch. Richie will play left-back as a backup to Zadanov, who will be predominantly the left-sided player. Emmanuel Acosta's still there. I'm trying to move him on, but couldn't get anyone to bid for him. Rico Gorski is another player that I'm going to look to move on. I want to bring in another right back at some point. Padilla will be the starting right back. And then we're spoilt for choice in centre midfield now. We've got Neil Shaw, Luke Collins, Neymar Buck, Adam Miles and Geronimo Fernandez all competing for those 3 centre midfield spots. Reyes will play right wing. Marin will play left wing. And we've got Watiu as a backup, Aprescu as a backup. Reinhold and Poulsen can also play on the right or up front. And then Ilan Brosh will be the starting striker. Very good squad. Very hopeful of the things that we can do. Schedule so far is promising. We had a 3-2 win away at Manchester United. And other than that, we've not conceded a goal. 1-0 win away at Arsenal. Beat Aston Villa 1-0 at home. Beat Newcastle 1-0 at home. And beat QPR 5-0 at home. So the fact we've gone to United and Arsenal already and taken 6 points is brilliant. We've got a very good team. I'm very hopeful that we can be dominant domestically this season. Let's jump forward to January and see how we've got on. Well, I wouldn't say we're cruising because Arsenal are only 2 points behind us. We do have a game in hand, but we've only lost 1 game. That was away at Tottenham, and we've drawn 4, 1-17. So we've been doing really well so far. Let's have a quick ski over the fixtures. So I left you here after this 1-0 home win against Aston Villa. We then went another 3 games without conceding a goal before beating Leicester 6-1. That's when the defeat came away at Tottenham. It was disappointing. But we had a 2-0 win at home to Crystal Palace. Draw away to Brentford. We drew away to Manchester City. Beat Chelsea at home. Had some wonderful results going through here. Away draws at Villa and Newcastle, which isn't too bad. I guess, but then we've beaten everybody else. It's just been, that disappointing defeat. I know you can't win them all. You're probably going to lose 1 or 2 games throughout the season, but I don't know. We were on a real roll, and it just fell apart there for some reason. But yeah, we've done really well. Let's have a look at the squad. So this is a squad sorted by average rating, and as you'll see, Reinhold is top. He's been absolutely wonderful for an 18-year-old. 10 goals and 11 starts is just wonderful. If it hadn't been for Brosh, I mean, look at Brosh, 20 goals in 19 appearances. I'm spoilt for choice with strikers. And then Poulsen is third. He scored 4 in 1 start. He's had 7 appearances altogether, including substitute appearances. But yeah, I'm blessed with those 3. They're absolutely wonderful. Really pleased that I managed to find Reinhold and Poulsen. Reyes has been brilliant, 14 goals and 14 assists in 29 appearances. Really glad I've kept hold of him. He is going to be 33 at the end of the season. He's probably going to move on after this season, so we're going to have a job on finding a replacement right winger. But yeah, he's been brilliant. Marvin Watiu has been good when he's come in, and I've needed him to do a job. But Saudi Arabia are interested in him. He's getting to the end of his career as well, so he's probably going to move on. Emmanuel Marin's been brilliant on the left. Neil Shaw's been fabulous, that world-class English centre midfielder that we brought in. Malia's done alright when he's had to come in. He had to make 5 appearances, but he did really well in the games that he played. Zadanov has been great as the left-back. Gomez has done well in goal throughout the season. Teixeira, Neymar Buck is a fabulous player. I have to say he's developing really, really well. We'll show you him at the end of the season, but yeah, he's wonderful talent. I'm so excited about him. Padilla's done alright at right back, 8 assists and 2 goals in 25 appearances. Knobloch's done a job when he's come in as well. So yeah, we're doing really well. Let's have a quick look at the cups. So in terms of the Carabao Cup, we beat Manchester City in the 3rd round, which was great. Then we beat Southampton. We beat Forest away 5-4. It was a close game. And I think you'll notice somewhere, Marin, I think it was, scored the winner in the 95th minute. So yeah. And now we've got Leicester in the semi-final, which I'm confident will get over the line. Leicester are down in the bottom of the table, fighting relegation. So yeah, really pleased with that. We've been drawn away against Tottenham in the FA Cup third round, which is the only team we've lost to in the league. So it's just typical, isn't it? Yeah, the only team that's managed to beat me is the team that I'm playing in the FA Cup. Wonderful. So we are in the Europa League, and the only points we dropped was away at Borussia Mönchengladbach. We won this competition with Leverkusen last season, and we're doing it again this season with Liverpool. Beat my old club Napoli 1-0 in the first game, and then we've been pretty rampant. Just a bit disappointing to drop those 2 points. And then we've got OB and Maccabi Haifa at home in the last 2 games, which I'm confident will win. So don't see a problem as progressing through to the round of 16 of the Europa League. So I'll jump forward to the end of the January transfer window. We'll have a look if we've done any other business and see how we got on in January. Okay, so in terms of players out, Watiao went out to Saudi Arabia to Al Ittihad for £22.5 million. He's gone out there as part of his retirement package, earning £1 million a week. Okay. Good player, just getting to the end of his career and wanted his final payday. Enrico Gorski's gone to Cordoba for £16.75 million. It was alright, it was my backup right back, but we need to go get a better right back as the backup. We've left ourselves a little bit short there, we've not brought a right back in, so we may suffer some consequences if Padilla gets injured, but we have other players that can play there, just not as good as the attacking right back that we want. I brought another striker in, 1.7 million, Colombian, I like my Colombians. So we brought him in, we've loaned him back, I think. Yeah, America De Cali is back out on loan. So he's out on loan there for the rest of the season. But 18 finishing, 17 composure. I couldn't turn it down. So yeah, I brought him in. I think if Brosh does move on in the summer, this guy will come in as third choice. So we'll have Reinhold and Poulsen, but then we'll have Guerrera as well. So yeah, is future planning. And then I brought this lad in for £4.5 million from Valerenga. He can play all the way across the back, predominantly left back, but can play centre back and right back. And again, 18 years old, wonder kid. Just need to give him some game time, and hopefully he'll develop into a very good player for us. But yeah, he was £4.5 million, so I thought, why not take a punt on him? So this is the squad for the rest of the season. I have sorted it by average rating again, so you can see that Brosh and Reyes are up there at the top. Cow's come in and played one game. Marin, Reinhold, Shaw, Poulsen, Malia, Zadanov. It's pretty much similar to what I showed you at the start of January, and they've just played a few more games. Let's have a look at those games, see how we got on. I'll show you the 2 home games against Obi and Maccabi Haifa first. We won the first one 10-1 and the second one 10-0. So Brosh scored a hat-trick in that one, and Watiao, before he left, got a hat-trick in that one. So yeah, we were very dominant, let's say. And we're through to the round of 16. We managed to get a draw away at Tottenham, and now we're playing them at home in the replay. So I'm confident we'll go through. We lost to them in the league away from home, so the fact that we managed to go there and get the draw, bring them back to our place, hopefully we can get through to the next round. And we've had 3 Premier League games. We've won 2, drawn 1. Disappointed with the draw away at Bournemouth. They're not a very good side. We beat QPR 5-0. We've beaten Arsenal at home 3-1, who were second in the table, so that's put a little bit more distance between us and them. So we're 3 points ahead of Arsenal with 2 games in hand, 1 point ahead of Newcastle with 2 games in hand. So we can make it 7 points between us and second place if we win as games in hand. So yeah, it's going all right. I'm confident things are heading in the right direction. So let's now jump forward to the end of the season and see how we got on. Well, it was pretty comprehensive. We finished 12 points ahead of Newcastle, and we scored 103, only conceding 23. So really, really good. We were just exceptional. Got a very, very good team here. One that I think can challenge for the Champions League next season. So we're definitely going to do another season here at Liverpool. Let's see how we got on in the cup competitions. So we got to the semi-final of the FA Cup, and then Chelsea beat us 1-0 after extra time. Disappointing that we didn't even score. It's not often we go into a game and don't score, but you know, it is what it is. You can't win them all. We just have to accept that we couldn't get by in that one. Bit disappointing because we didn't win the Pokal last season either, did we, in Germany? So the domestic cup competition seems to be evading us at the minute. But we'll see what happens next season. We'll definitely be here for another year, and because I do want to have a crack at the Champions League with this Liverpool team. So see how we get on. When it comes to the Carabao Cup, we went all the way through to the final and then give Manchester United a good romping at 7-0. Brosh scoring 4. There were no match for us. Bit weird, isn't it, that we can smash Man United 7-0 in a cup final and then lose 1-0 after extra time to Chelsea in a semi-final, but hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, fabulous result. It's not often you go to a cup final against one of your arch rivals and give them a good hiding, is it? Manchester United sacked their manager straight after this game, by the way, and I think Arne Slot is linked with the job. So these are his results in the Premier League from February onwards. We had a very good February, a very good March. April was pretty good, except for that defeat to Chelsea. Ironically, we didn't draw any more games after the January transfer window, and the only points we dropped was the defeat away at Chelsea. So they beat us in the FA Cup semi-final, and they beat us in the league away. But other than that, we won every other game. Just outrageous how good this team is. So when it comes to the Europa League, I'm going to play the final as a live com against Hertha Berlin. It's a team we should be beating quite comfortably. I'm not sure how good they are, but last season they were nowhere near us as Leverkusen managers, so I'm confident we should beat them. In the round of 16, we disposed of Espanyol pretty comprehensively. PSV in the quarter-final comprehensively. It was a bit tight against Everton, Merseyside derby. I only beat them 1-0 at home, so I was a little bit panicking when we went away, but we managed to get the draw and progress through to the final. So Everton, Merseyside, European semi-final. I think the fans would have loved that, wouldn't they? So yeah, now we play Hertha Berlin. I'm going to go do this as a live com, so join me there and see how we get on. We've got that music again, very similar to what we had in the last episode when we were here with Leverkusen. And now we're here with Liverpool, our new club. Don't recognise it, or recognise Gommert. He's a very good centre-back, German centre-back. But other than that, I don't really recognise anybody else. Get straight into it. We've got the settings on. Okay. So, if we can beat Manchester United 7-0 in a cup final, surely we can beat Hertha Berlin comfortably in a cup final. Teixeira, all the way back to Gomez, who's going to leave at the end of the season. Medina, bringing it forward. Shaw's on the ball, he's going to play Marin through, and it's 1-0. Fabulous goal, he's 22nd of the season, which is not bad for a left winger. Wonderful talent he is. Yeah, there's a couple of positions that I need to strengthen, so I need to have a think about what to do with the goalkeeper, because I could play the young lad in goal. I'll have a think about that. Brosh needs to decide whether he's going to stay or go. I want him to stay, because I think he's probably the best striker in the game. And I think we might need a defensive midfielder. Homer's good, but he's not world class. I think my back four is world class. That back four is fabulous. I don't need to touch that. And I don't really need to touch the centre midfielders, so Buck and Shaw are very good, and we've got some able deputies there as well. Marin's fabulous on the left. Reyes is a player that we probably need to change because he's getting old. So right back and centre and anchor position, centre midfield. And maybe goalkeeper. So they're the three key positions that we need to focus on. There were quite a lot of players who my scouts were recommending as A+, whose contracts were running out, so I've just gone and bought them because they were free. And if I need to sell them on at a later date for some profit, we'll do that. But oh, is that counting? Hertha Berlin have equalised, and I did not expect this at all. I did not expect this at all. I thought this was going to be like a 4 or 5-0 win. Boys are not playing well at all, are they? Reyes and Brosh are not playing well at all. I'm fired up. Going into extra time. Unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. I am not happy with your performance. Get out there and sort it out. I think I'm going to bring Reyes off, you know. I brought Reyes off and brought Reinhold on. Hopefully he can inject something into this team. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good. Oh my god. Where is the defence? I've just been saying about how good this defence is. Oh my god, I did not expect this at all. I thought this was just going to be a simple commentary, live com, where it were going to be like 4, 5, 6-0 or something like that. Where have Hertha Berlin come from? What is going on? Oh great, now Marin's injured. I haven't really got any other options because we let Watiao go, didn't we? Oh, Prescu's come on. Who's not the best. I'm looking to move him on in the summer. Oh my god. I can't believe it. We've lost to Hertha Berlin. That's shocking. Oh, I do apologise. This live com has gone completely wrong. Did not expect that at all, but these things happen in football sometimes, don't they? I was just completely overconfident going into that. Didn't expect them to get a sniff at all, but there you go. You don't win them all, do you? We lost. So this is the squad sorted by average rating as we close out the season. So like I said, there's 3 key areas that we need to look at, providing we hang on to the players that I want to hang on to. So we need to look at the right winger, we need to look at the anchor position of midfield and potentially goalkeeper. So, and there's a few players that I want to move on. So Acosta and Prescu are 2 players that I do want to move on, and we've got some transfers already agreed to come in for next season based on contracts that are expiring. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.